umming and ahhing whether I do a video. The reason why I was very unsure is obviously because I didn't go to the game today between York and Grimsby. Unfortunately for the Mariners, Game 4 happened to be our first defeat in pre-season as it went down. York City winning by 2-1. Now I'm not going to get too carried away by a loss in pre-season, but quite disappointing, I think, to say that, as we conceded within a minute, within 2 minutes of the game, and it was from a corner, swung in Billy Chadwick with the finish from the back post, just defensively asleep. I was able to catch that with a York highlight that had been put up. Obviously, people that were there can be a lot more thorough on that. And to be fair, you know, it is what it is. I mean, we got to go back on 18 minutes when an own goal was scored by obviously by the York player, made it level. I was watching it. I wasn't watching the game, but I was watching the stats come through. We looked like we were quite severely dominated. We looked dominated because of the amount of dangerous attacks that York were having compared to what we were having. Just seemed like it was York attacking. Grimsby would get out for a little while, and then we just fall back to type. It was a bad day. We made changes obviously at half time. They didn't really change things. The performance felt, from what I was reading, felt flat. Felt like York were far more prepared, and with about 16 minutes to go, a second goal was scored by York after a cross from Alex Hunt ended up the head of Linnell John Lewis, who jumped high enough past our defender and past Jake Eastwood and into the back of the net for a win for York, and well deserved for the Minster men. But I can only go on through what I was watching with attacks and things like that. Grimsby just didn't seem to turn up, and but it's one of these sort of things. I'm gonna say react with caution, because everyone is entitled to an off day. I'm going to put this one down to an off day. It's our first game where we haven't really turned up, and it's, while disappointing, you know, it's a good performance. I don't want to say let slide, but I'm not as disappointed as I probably should be, probably because I wasn't there for that one maybe, But I also know that we can't get carried away with the 2-1 defeat at York. Yes, I understand, it's a level up, National League. York have got some good players, and we know that. We know a few of them. Obviously, Alex Hunt left us back in the summer. Lenny was with us a couple of years ago when I was in Lewis, been with the club twice, and obviously Paddy McLaughlin as well as former Mariners that were involved in the team. And to me, it's one of these games that we've just got to accept and dust ourselves off and go, it was a bad day at the office. I did hear Artel's post-match, and something I think some fans have picked up on is when he goes, he hasn't worked too much on his defensive shape. Artel is an attack-based coach. He always feels like he's can we score more than the other team? Because if we can score more than the other team, defensively is not as important. But if they haven't been working too much on defensiveness, this is the first time defensively, to be fair, we've been tested in pre-season. Which I think is what we need. And I'm not going to call it a reality check, but it does show you that if you're not switched on at the back, any team can trouble you. Boston troubled us a bit in midweek. So, to say I'm surprised that we conceded today, no. Because the quality that York have got, I expect them to do fairly well in the National League this season. So, disappointing as it is, we move on. We've got a free week now in regards to games. Artel and the team will be working all week as we set up for another friendly, quite a distance friendly. I think it's South Shields. So we're going up north for the next pre-season friendly. Welcome to the 600 people that travelled up to York. I couldn't make it. So that's why this review is kind of more of an opinion video than what I've seen. The last thing to take from this is don't worry too much. Don't take the loss too hard. I've seen some fans be really disappointed about how poor we were. Yeah, we were poor, but I think also you've got to give York the credit and say they weren't. And it's pre-season, guys. We have to keep remembering that it's pre-season. This result against York is not going to define our season, just like winning the first three without conceding is not going to define our season. As long as we're ready to go for August the 10th in 20 days' time, as long as we're ready for that, then that's all we can ask for. And a work in progress. Hopefully some decisions on trialists will be made this week, and hopefully maybe a couple more signings, maybe at least maybe one. Good to see Chaz Vernon as well, just to mention that he got a little bit of a run out in the second half as well. That's good to see. So overall, 2-1 to York. Disappointing day, disappointing result. But like I said, this is not going to define what Grimsby are between now and the end of the season. So, of this season. So, like I said, we dust ourselves off, and we go again next Saturday at South Shields for another step on the pre-season ladder, and then we've got only 2 games between then and the start of the season will be 2 weeks from then. So that's this opinion video. I would call it a review, but I wasn't there, so I don't think it's fair to call it a full review. Improvements need to be made. Improvements, I'm sure, will be made. And we, like I said, we dust ourselves off. We go again and lead up to South Shields. In the meantime, any Grimsby news that does break between now and the game against South Shields, I'll be back with you with videos for those. And probably after next week, I'll do my table review where I think Grimsby will, how League 2 will look this season. So I'll give my opinion on that in the next week or so. In the meantime, guys, if you did like this ramble and you went to the York game, you want to let me know what you thought. Really, how bad were we? Let me know down below, and let me know all over social media, how bad were we? Were we as bad as it looked in stats wise, or not? Let me know down below. And for anyone that was there, who was the man of the match for people? I can't give an opinion, but I'd love to know yours. So if you did like the video, hit the like button, hit the bell button, that'll let you know when I upload some new content. And like I said, let's not get too carried away or too worried. It's a pre-season game, disappointing, but like I said, this won't define our season, believe me. And I think that, we'll see. We'll have a quiet week, sort of on field. Hopefully, we can make it a little bit busy off the field. So I will see you soon with any Grimsby news that breaks throughout next week. I won't be doing a preview for South Shields, but I'll give my opinion on that. I won't be at South Shields, but I'll give my opinion once the dust has settled on the game and any highlights that are shown. So, like I said, hit that bell button, hit the like button, and like, share, and subscribe for me. And I will see you guys in the next one. Up the Mariners. Let's not worry. It's a defeat, but we move on. We're the Mariners. We're the mighty Mariners. And we'll always be the mighty Mariners. I'll see you soon. Ta-da.